podcast called Jellison podcast.
He probably doesn't remember this at all.
Yeah, we work together. It's easy.
This is kind of real. I pull shit.
And so it's really cool to get to be a part of that.
Hey, you know how it is, though. Hey, when
you now tune into the biggest ever.
We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
I don't remember that. That's crazy.
What's up, everyone? We're back with episode 145 of the Jellison podcast. David, very special guest, joined me all the way from Turkey, member of Turk Telekom, former UCF and Michigan forward, Aubrey Dawkins. Aubrey, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Can't complain. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for coming on. I know we were chatting a little bit before we hopped on here about the ongoing tension and the war between Ukraine and Russia and how that impacts you guys as overseas hoopers. So how have you been handling that whole situation? I know you're not like super close to it, but you still got to keep an eye on it.
Mm-hmm. That's it. You got to keep an eye on it. You know, you can't act like it's not happening because it is. You know, you got to stay aware and just stay vigilant and be ready to do whatever you have to do to protect yourself and your loved ones if you're here with your family or your wife or girlfriend, whoever it may be. Just to be ready and not lose sight of what's most important.
No doubt. Have you followed any of the stories of the guys? I know like Mo Creek, who played at Indiana, and then I think it was Teray Murray, who played at Murray State. He was over there. Have you been following some of those stories?
Not a whole lot, but obviously I'm aware. But I haven't kept track too much of them. But I do feel for the guys who are in Ukraine or who were in Ukraine. That's a scary situation, and I obviously I'm only a few countries away, but I couldn't imagine. It really puts things in priority real quick, and it's like I said, it puts things in perspective. You want to still be here, and so basketball can continue on. But for now, let me take care of me.
Mm-hmm. And have you had to deal with anything? I know you've played in Germany and now Turkey. Have you had to deal with anything? Obviously not to this level with the war and stuff, but like political tensions and stuff like that. Because I know Turkey kind of got a bad rap just because of the things like Enes Kanter said about their government and what have you. So a lot of people have like that negative connotation, but all the guys I've talked to that have played in Turkey absolutely love it. Yeah, I
mean, I love it too. I haven't had to deal with anything, along those lines. It's we're only here for a short time. I mean, it's long in the moment, but 8, 9, 10 months. It's it's mostly all good. It's enough time for you to kind of learn the culture, learn the people, and that's really it. And so no, I haven't had to deal with anything too crazy, fortunately.
And like I said, a lot of the guys I've had on love Turkey, and they said that Istanbul is their favorite place to go. I mean, what is that like?
Packed. It's a massive city, overpopulated, but it's amazing. It is. It's a lot of fun. You see a lot of cool things, especially when you come from the States. Like a lot of us we're so used to one thing, and we think America is this and that, but man, there's a lot of world out there, a lot of great places to visit if you're willing to be adaptable and open to new things. It's you'll be surprised at the things you end up falling in love with them out there.
Is it completely different, or can you kind of relate some things back to aspects of the American culture?
As far as Istanbul goes, or
or Turkey as a whole?
I mean, yeah, for sure. Like it's a pretty fast-paced Istanbul for sure. I mean, the bigger cities, pretty fast-paced. Like there's it kind of remind you of walking the streets in New York or any big city. Bumper to bumper, cars honking all the time. People trying to get around, people walking through the middle of traffic like they have bumpers on their body. That's how it is. But you're used to it. And once you get used to that, you kind of get used to just driving out here. It's very different, but it's similar in a lot of ways. You realize that people are still people no matter where you are. A lot of things are still going to be the same, just language barriers or some cultural differences here and there. But I mean, it just depends on where you are and what you're used to. But it's like I said, the best way to put it is there's a lot of similarities and a lot of differences, and you'll quickly see them the more time you spend out here.
What are your interactions like with some of the local citizens? Maybe if they do recognize you from playing or realize, like I remember I had Deshaun Thomas on, and he was playing in Japan at the time, and he was like, they don't have too many huge black dudes over there. So when I walk down the streets, I get some looks.
I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, it's obviously you stand out. And I mean, if they're not familiar with if they're not huge basketball fans, obviously don't know who you are, but like, they're pretty confident you come from USA. Yeah. That's really it. That's really it. I mean, but it's everybody's really respectful. Everybody's people are super friendly, super helpful. I've had nothing but a good experience with it, and you enjoy talking to them and trying to communicate as best you can, around the language barriers and whatnot. But it's you stand out, but it's in a good way. It's not nobody makes you feel uncomfortable, like you're out of place.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of people that play overseas they share the same mindset of like, you have to embrace yourself in whatever culture you're in, or you're going to be miserable. Because there's a lot of guys that say basketball's not going so well or whatever. They kind of get locked in their apartment or house or whatever, and they don't get to go out and experience these new things. Have you put an emphasis on trying to go out and at least experience the culture while you've been over there?
For sure, that's it. You would definitely want to embrace where you are. You can't look left and right and wish and dream it was something different, because it's not reality. This is where you are, so make the most of it. Because if you don't, you'll regret it. We only got to find that amount of time in our lives, and this is ultimately a great experience. You're getting paid to play basketball in another country. Places people pay thousands of dollars to come visit, to come be tourists. You're here getting paid to play this game, a game that when you break it down it seems nonsensical that we get paid to play sports. It's a fun game, but it really is like that. And so you have to be grateful for where you are and be where your feet are. So I think that's just the mentality to have, is to embrace it and go out and try new things, experience new things. Because like I said, if you don't, you'll regret it. When you come back to the States, you'll be mad you didn't do some of these things, or go here or go there or visit there. And you have the opportunity and the chance to. You might not have the chance again. So make the most of it while you're here.
Yeah, and I don't know why people wouldn't, honestly. Like, if you're already there, why would I don't know if it comes down to fear, or they're just uncomfortable being. People don't like change. That's
exactly.
That's kind of
exactly.
And I'm guilty of that too. I hate change, but if you're already over there, why not go out and try all these different things?
Exactly. Yeah. You got food, different historical sites. You can fly once you get into Europe. You can fly country to country super easy. It's travel, or even the train. This traveling is super easy in Europe. So it's like you really have no excuse why you can't get out and explore a little bit, and do things you never thought you'd do before, and make memories and with the teammates you have at the time, whether you're here with your family, your wife, or your girlfriend. Like, these opportunities you may not get back. And so when you see it like that and appreciate it for what it is, people will end up being very envious of your life when they, this is all stuff everybody wishes they could do. When you're doing, like I said, you're getting paid to be in places that people don't just, it doesn't happen. Especially not got people from America. It doesn't happen. So it's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, did you have that mindset kind of going into things? Because I know a lot of guys, they would be afraid of going to Germany or Turkey or wherever, especially. Someone that hasn't really traveled a whole lot in their life, maybe stayed in the same state, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. And I think for me, obviously, it depends on upbringing, right? Like I was able to kind of, my dad, we moved around a little bit, different places to live in. So you learn to let go and you learn to adapt to new experiences, to new places. So whether it's changing school, whatever the case may be, you learn to deal with those type of feelings and embrace them. And so this is nothing, like, especially as you get older and more mature. Like, those things seem like a huge deal when you're a kid changing new schools. You feel like, oh my gosh, I got to meet new people. It's super overwhelming. But once you're used to that feeling, and now you're 25, 26, 27 years old, there's nothing. You just go do what you got to do, and you end up loving it. It takes a couple of weeks to get used to the area, the people, whatever the case may be, the food. But after that, it just becomes life. you no longer are a foreigner. I'm just here. I'm here until I'm not here anymore, and then you go back to the States and do it all over again next year.
And did you have any vets that kind of helped mentor you or took you under their wing to help with that transition? Because I know it's a big transition.
Yeah, man. Like I said, good teammates are always super helpful, especially the guys again who are from the area. They're always super helpful and are willing to answer any questions or to give you directions, anything. They're always super helpful with that. And like I said, once if you are somebody who is proactive and wants to get out there and do for yourself and like I said, just be your own person and be willing to be uncomfortable. You're gonna have a great time because I mean it's a life is a beautiful thing and you get to see it for what it is in different parts of the world. The world turns and there's plenty of countries and continents and 8 billion people out there. Like it's narrow-minded to think that America's the only place that life goes on. So you come here and you see things and you get a new perspective and you can bring it back to the States and there's things you like better about being overseas than you do about being in the States, and that's all cool to experience and pass from somebody else. That kind of knowledge,
Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, who are some of those vets? I mean, maybe local guys or some of the vets from America that have been over there and kind of been through everything that have helped you.
Let's see. So last year, a teammate of mine played at Cal, Jorge Gutierrez. He was a very big help to me. He had a stint in the NBA, very good player, but he obviously was a huge. For my first time overseas, he provided a lot of insight about what it's like and what it takes and how to keep your head on straight. Because you're gonna go through a lot of ups and downs in this thing. But I just focus on the important things and let the things you can't control just kind of pass through. And then on this team now, like Juwan Johnson played at Purdue, but overseas now for a good amount of time. Again, had an NBA stint. He's another guy that's kind of giving advice and helps kind of to enlighten you, the guys who haven't been over here as long, to understand what it takes and what it's like. And so yeah.
Yeah, how's my boy Juwan doing? Because I'm a Boilermaker, obviously, and I grew up. I mean, idolized like him and Etwan and Robbie Hummel and those guys. How's he doing?
I know Etwan too. He's good, man. He's doing great. He's doing great. He still jumps out the gym. I'm surprised he just turned 33. But he's doing great, man. Just he's living, making the most of his situation too, and it's good to see. Somebody who's been in it for a while, still showing up every single day and loving what he does. Like that's inspirational. It's a beautiful thing to be able to embrace this situations we're in and have fun with it. So everybody can't do that.
No doubt. I mean, kind of looking forward, how would you like your pro basketball career to pan out? Do you have any like visions or major goals that you think about from time to time?
I just want to keep trending upward, right? Until I stop playing the game, I want to keep trying to get better, and that's really it. And I have that mindset and I have that goal, and I continue to put the work in, then I can live with whatever results come. I'm not holding on to anything. Like obviously the NBA is obviously an ultimate goal, and that's just something to help keep you hungry, keep you motivated. And if it doesn't happen, I'm okay with that. And if it does, I'm okay with that too. But it's that simple. I just want to keep getting better, keep trending upwards, and keep adding value to the person I am and the player I am.
A lot of people get kind of caught up in the goals and reaching a certain standard, and if you don't hit that standard or goal, then you're a failure. But like life doesn't work out that way.
You can't.
You can talk to some of the most successful people in the world, and they've wanted to do other things, other ventures, and that didn't work out. So they found a new way, and then now. Yeah,
you're right. You got to keep trying. You can't be so goal oriented. You have to focus on the little things, the principles, being consistent in the efforts and what you do every single day, not about what can happen 2-3 years from now. If that's all you focus on, then first of all, you're not living life. You're not right. At least you're not. That's not setting you up to be happy or to find fulfillment or satisfaction out of what you do. Like like I said, and that's part of the social media aspect, right, in the world. Like what we're used to seeing now, everybody shows what's going well and then all the good stuff. But like, usually it's never what it seems. And for a lot of those people, nobody saw what they did to get there. And so it can be misleading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's specifically important for athletes as well. Everyone wants to be like the next Kobe, LeBron, KD. Now Jaws taking over. But I mean, you got to put the work in, and a lot of you guys do put the work in, but some of them, and you can see they're super talented, but you look at where they are now, and they're not playing anymore and not doing anything. I mean, it's not
exactly.
Doesn't take rocket science to figure out what went wrong.
No, it does not. No, it just takes having a little bit of humility, right, and being able to accept that you can't do it your way all the time, you know. And whatever you want, you got to go out there and take it. You have to be willing to sacrifice and prioritize. That's what a lot of guys can't do.
Did you have to kind of like put your pride aside a little bit when you go to somewhere like the G League? Like obviously everybody, if you play basketball, you want to play in the NBA. But if you're not to that level yet, or the opportunities haven't presented themselves, do you have to kind of put your pride aside to go overseas and just keep continuously working on your game? Or do you not look at it like that?
I don't look at it like that, but I'm not going to see. I can see why somebody would, but I mean, like I said, having too much pride in this world will get you nowhere. You know, you got to be willing to let some of your ego go to find the success you want, because rarely will it happen how you envision it happening. And everyone doesn't always have the same opinion about you that you have about yourself. And when you realize that and have a more humble approach and realize that you maybe aren't what you thought you were, things become easier, and it allows you to step into a frame of mind where you're willing to work and become what you thought you were, or become like I said, the player you want to be. And so until you can do that, then you might have to put your pride aside a lot. But for me, it was just I've been grinding my whole life to be where I'm at now, and I'm not opposed or worried about working a little harder. I won't stop working until, like I said, I'm retired with the game. But if you don't have that mindset, it'll be tough for you.
And where did you kind of learn to have that mindset of getting things done and working and improving yourself, as opposed to being goal oriented, like you kind of alluded to earlier?
Yeah. You gotta keep working. You gotta keep your head down and keep pushing. You can't look left and right, because once you do, a lot of times you get stuck.
No doubt. I want to go back to your college career, because that's obviously how I was kind of introduced to you, playing at Michigan your first 2 years. What was it like playing in those loaded years for the Big Ten?
Fun. I mean, exciting. That's all any kid really dreams about, right? Like, obviously the NBA is everyone's dream, but sometimes college seems to be the more obtainable one at the moment. And so being able to do that on its own, and being able to be in college basketball and be in one of the top leagues in college basketball and see the environments that you always see on TV, and actually be in it. So it's crazy. It was super fun, great learning experience. Those are memories that you'll have forever.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like Big Ten basketball. I haven't been to the ACC or SEC or Big 12 or any of those games, but I mean, I go to Mackey all the time, and I leave and my ears hurt. I mean, I was watching the Wisconsin game last night. The Kohl Center was absolutely insane before the game even tipped off. Yeah, no,
the Big Ten. They have the best consistent fans in the country. And granted, maybe chalk it up to the location of the Big Ten. I mean, it's super cold, snowy, wet. Like, basketball and football and the sports is all there really is to go to. Let's just go inside and watch a game. So you can make that excuse for it, but I mean, every game is packed. Every game is sold out. Like, it's people are there out before the game. The whole gym's already bored. It's like, goodness. But that's exactly what you want to play at. That's fun. That is fun. That's thrilling. The experience you really can't get anywhere else.
Did you have any sleeper gyms that you played in and you kind of went in thinking like, oh, this environment won't be like anything special, and then it kind of blew your mind?
Oh, well, shoot. I mean, the whole Big Ten was crazy. Aside from Penn State, no shade being thrown. I was surprised that it was so for such a huge arena. It was nobody there. But everywhere else, Rutgers, Iowa, Michigan State, obviously, Indiana, Purdue, Illinois, it's ridiculous. No, I didn't know Illinois arena was so big. I was not expecting that. When I got in there, that really caught me off guard. I was like, wow, this is impact, sold out. Yeah. So no, there was no real, like, not in the Big Ten, no real surprising ones. I wouldn't even think about really, and even in the American, it was about as I expected. Once you kind of understand where you are and the level you're playing at, you kind of you know what to expect.
And then, I mean, those Michigan teams that you were on, I know the first year you guys kind of had some struggles. I think you were.
Yeah.
I was coming off like Stauskas and Glenn Robinson III and all those guys coming through. But I mean, that second year, you guys were absolutely loaded. You look at, I mean, Mo Wagner and DJ Wilson were barely playing, and they're in the NBA now.
Yeah, it's crazy. You never know where guys are going to end up, right? Like, it's crazy how the journey goes. Duncan Robinson too. Like, you know. But yeah, no, very good, talented team. Very talented team. I mean, yeah, great years.
And was it like for you to see some of those guys make it into the NBA, like Duncan Robinson, who you brought up? I mean, went on an amazing story. Now he signed a deal for 90 over 4.
Insane. I mean, all you can do is be happy, right? That's everybody's dream. Like, we can't be so caught up in our lives and, you know, the dreams we have to not be able to appreciate and be happy for somebody else. You know, like, it's life's too short, man. And so for them, I'm just overjoyed. I've seen them, you know, for 2 years, whatever, and the person they are and the work ethic they have to be able to make that happen. Like, it's amazing. And it's well deserved. There's nothing I can say. It's well deserved. And I wish them all the best with it. Yeah, it's just, you're just happy for them, especially as a teammate. You're just happy for them.
And I actually have not a funny story, but it's kind of interesting. So when you guys played, it was the year you guys beat IU on that buzzer beater in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That following game, you guys played Purdue, and that was the first ever Purdue game I'd ever been to. When I was 16, I think.
Okay.
But you guys are so damn good, and I didn't like Muhammad Ali Abdul-Rahman. It's kind of a let's say he used to torch everybody. He was so good.
Yeah. No, he's that was my roommate in college. Yeah. No, he's a great player, man. He's a great player. He just figured it out. You know, he's one of those guys that just had a good knack for the game. You look up and he has 15 points, or he has 3 steals, or he has 5 threes. It wouldn't surprise, like, oh wow, you know, and he's one of those players. Always make himself relevant on the court and being able to impact it in some way. And that's a skill to have. You know, you always add value to yourself.
And how much did you learn from some of your teammates, whether they were older than you, came into the same class, or even some of the younger guys? I mean, how much better did you guys get in some of those practices? I can only imagine some of the open gym runs that you guys had.
No, those are the best times. That's what I missed the most about Michigan. Just the pickup. We played so much pickup at Michigan. We didn't play as much at UCF, and it wasn't taking it serious. But at Michigan, that's what we did, and that's what you miss. All the banter back and forth, and you get better, and guys want to get better. You know, that's all you can ask for, is have a great experience, right? And play with great people and great competitors. And so, yeah, a lot of fun games, a lot of fun conversation, a lot of trash talk. Yeah, I miss it. I can't lie.
Who'd you used to give it to most in those open gym runs?
Trash talk wise, probably Derek Walton or Karis LeVert, I imagine. Yeah. Just fun. And then all guys who you know are confident in what they can bring to the game, what they do on the court. So, you know, of course we're gonna butt heads. Of course we're gonna talk a little trash. Even me and Muhammad got into it a couple of times. That's what you want. You have it no other way, right? Like, it's nothing personal. It's between the lines, but you get into it and you have fun with it.
And then you you've mentioned UCF a couple times here. I mean, talk about that process of deciding to transfer, and then I'm assuming it was kind of a no-brainer to go down
Yeah.
basketball, go to school in Florida, and play with, or be coached by your dad.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a terribly difficult decision. I mean, the toughest part about it was the sit out year. And so that was really it. But it was a decision I made because I wanted to be the best player I could be, help my dad start off a new career in a new environment, a young school, with not much tradition to go off of, to create something and build on something. And I believe I did all those things. And so it didn't happen how I wanted it to happen, but it happened. And so ultimately that's all you can do, right? And so yeah.
Was it? I know you went there. You had to sit out, like you mentioned, and then you had an injury, so you missed 2 straight years of college basketball. I mean, how much did that impact you mentally, just to have to go through that and not being able to be on the court and really to no fault of your own?
Yeah, a lot. But it's all learning experience, right? It's all opportunities for you to grow as a human being, because you'll live a lot longer than you play basketball. And so these are life skills that you gotta learn sooner rather than later. That nothing's promised. Plans don't always work out. Anything can be taken away from you at any moment. And that's just something good to know for life. Like, remain humble, remain grateful, and appreciative of what you have. Because for me, it was just a shoulder tear. Something I can bounce back from. But for some people, it's a death in the family, chronic illness, anything can happen. And so when you understand that, you walk the world with a different outlook. You appreciate more of what's in front of you. So for me, I just appreciated my teammates, appreciated the journey I'm on. And I wouldn't allow myself to go down that dark road and let the hate for what life dealt me. I wasn't gonna allow that, because somebody has it much worse than me. It's just basketball, and ultimately I'll be okay. And so with that mindset, me trying to be the best teammate I can be to my teammates who are playing, it made it much easier. You invest your time and invest your emotional energy in them, and once you do that, it makes it easier on you, and then it shows them as well. It's definitely an example for the guys who are coming behind you and your teammates. Like, it's not all about me. Like, I'm hurt. We still got a season to play. Still got games to win. And so if I can be here and be supportive of you guys, then I mean, there's no reason why you guys can't give your best effort on the court, because that's ultimately where everybody wants to be. So yeah.
And after you kind of went through that, what was it like to play for your dad I'm assuming for the first time, because I don't think he'd be able to with you. Just with his jobs. What was that experience like?
Great. I mean, it's not something everybody gets to do, but I wish they could do it. Because you get, especially when your father is busy, and when you grow up being the child of somebody who's has any sort of name in any field or career, like, that's all you really ever hear about. And sometimes you don't get to build that relationship with your parent, because they're busy, they're doing this, they're doing that. Like, and he's a super disciplined guy, and super big about setting examples and living life the right way. And so that's kind of how it was coming up. And so being able to actually be with him all the time now, and actually see him, and now I'm a young man, and it's no longer like him telling me what to do, but now him advising me on what to do, because I'm grown. What I'm saying, I'm gonna do what I want, but it's nice to have your opinion on things. It was great. It was really, really great. It was really, really. We both learned a lot. We got a lot closer in our relationship, and obviously a shared passion, a shared love of the game, but also just in our father-son bond and our interest in what we like. Like, that's something you wish everybody could do.
Yeah, man, that's super special.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any moments where you guys got under each other's skin and just went at it one time?
Early on, but that happened one time and it never happened again. And that point on, I think it was a gain of respect for each other, and and who we are as individuals and as men. And yeah, I said we've been blossoming ever since that moment. So that was my first season too. And so yeah, by the time I played that season where I was playing 2018, 2019, like it was all just clicking. We know what to expect. We know we want each other. We know how we're gonna get it done. And let's just go do it.
Do you have any good stories from those 3 years there?
Off the top of my head, I mean, I can't think. Obviously I do that. They would need to come up in conversation. Like I can't think of anything necessarily. Like I'm not even sure what you want to hear, really. Like between me and my father, all types of funny stuff. I'm his son, so like he did a good job of making sure that I never felt uncomfortable. My teammates did a good job too of making sure that when we're in that environment and it's basketball time, like he's coach, I'm just another one of the guys, not his son, not any of that. But from time to time, he would make jokes and crack jokes, and like just to pick on me or whatever. Like make me go run the bleachers or something, just stupid stuff, just because he can. What I'm saying? Go a little bit of extra just because to rub it in a little bit, and the guys would all laugh and get a kick out of it, and it was all in good fun, But I love that kind of stuff, right? Again, that brings us closer and something to laugh at and look back on in years like now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, how much did he impact your game growing up? I know, like you said, he was a very busy guy, had a lot of stuff on his plate. But how much did he impact you growing up and learning some of those disciplines like you talked about?
Yeah, I mean a lot. He obviously with different bills, different players. Like he was smaller than me, super quick, and he played point guard or whatever. So we're two different types of players for sure. But the approach we have to the game is the same. Like the dedication I saw, the diligence to your craft and how you want to, the play you want to be and how you're going to get there, all kind of stuff. Like it rubbed off on me. Like let your actions do the talking. All that kind of stuff. Just how he is on the court, the way he approached it, all that stuff rubbed off on me. So that's kind of how I approach the game, and the dedication you gotta have to it. Like I said, you gotta appreciate it. And if you're not gonna work for it, there's no point in doing it. And so you have to be willing to put in the work to get where you want to be. If you're not willing to do that, then might as well not even start.
Mm-hmm. And I want to talk about Coach K because I don't know if you were aware, but his final home game against North Carolina is coming up on Saturday.
I saw the average ticket price.
I mean, with your dad being a Duke legend, obviously, and being an assistant when you were growing up, how much were you able to be around the program and talk to Coach K and some of the guys?
A lot. I did all my workouts as a kid there. If it's not Cameron Indoor Stadium, it's one of the regular gyms, Card, Jim Wilson. I did pretty much all of my just working out there with my dad after school or whatever. And so you see a lot through all the basketball camps, see all the players come and go, talk to them, build relationships and whatnot. And obviously, I'm a little kid, so obviously, all that is pretty much gone now. But like still, there's a foundation. You see what greatness looks like and excellence and trying to be the best every single day. So you see it. And so even with Coach K, like you going through the practices and whatnot. Granted, I didn't go to a ton of them, but I went to some. And you just see the level of standards that it takes to be great. And that's not something everybody gets to see. And so it's again, when you're a kid, that stuff has an impact on you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, did you realize the magnitude of who he was and just the aura of the Duke program when you were growing up at some of those practices?
Yeah, you kind of understand it because as a kid and whatnot, being in Durham, it's Duke basketball, right? Like if they're not talking about, you being Johnny Dawkins' son or, just being at Duke, they're talking about Coach K. So you quickly understand how much it means to the city, of course, first of all, and just basketball fans across the nation. Like it's big. It's big. It means a lot of people are very passionate about it. And so it doesn't take long to understand the environment you're in.
It's going to be weird. I don't remember a time without Coach K
Right.
Sidelines for Duke, and then like Roy Williams is gone now.
Mhm.
One other legend coach retired recently. It's escaping me. I can't remember. But like
Yeah, it's
seeing Coach Shire on the sidelines next year is gonna be weird.
gonna be different.
Because when I was growing up, he was still playing. I mean, he was at Duke.
Yeah,
He was like,
he was.
it was him and Nolan Smith and Kyle
My
Sims.
God. Yeah. Yeah. It'll be different. It'll be different. But that's the nature of anything, right? Nature of basketball or any facet of life, right? People come and go. And so you gotta be ready for it. The same when Kobe retired, and it'll be the same when LeBron retires. Like it'll be a whole like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? But we know what's gonna happen. It'll just keep moving on. It never stops.
No doubt. And then
Yeah.
as someone that's been kind of up close and personal with the Duke brotherhood, I mean, what do you think Coach K's legacy is going to be left?
I mean, this is just greatness, excellence, commitment. Like that's it. To winning, having a spirit of excellence in what you do, and being humble in it. Like having a humble approach to it too, knowing that you are one of the most respected people in the game, but not acting like it. So if you're Duke, still approaching every single game like it's just a game, not being bigger than the game. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff is big, and it means a lot to the fans to be confident but not conceited, confident but not cocky. You know what I'm saying? Know what you do, know what you bring, but have gratitude about it. And be appreciative for where you are, because everybody doesn't get that chance.
And last thing before I forget, I know we're close on time. Obviously at UCF, obviously you played with the 7'6" Taco Fall.
Yes.
I mean, how weird is it to see someone that like just a physical specimen out there playing on your team?
I mean, believe it or not, you get used to it. I remember the first time I saw him, like it was insane. But you get used to him, and you have that advantage because everybody's not used to playing against a guy who's 7'6" on the court. And so I know every time we play somebody new and they're playing for the first time, they're having the same reaction I had. So I know they won't be ready. And so it makes our job easier, right? Like it's just like, and even if they have played against them before, they don't play them every single day. I play against them every single day. And so I know if it's one game, we gotta be better than you for just one game. Then I feel pretty good about our chances. Yeah, I do. Yeah, Taco's a great guy.
I feel like everybody like I've never heard anyone say anything bad about him.
Because you can't. He really is that good of a guy. We traveled commercially at UCF, and we'd be at the airport and whatnot, and sitting around. And I never saw him turn one autograph down. Never saw him turn a picture down. Never heard him say no to anybody. And you can imagine he'd be famous no matter who he was because he's 7'6". And so people want to talk to him, take pictures with him, all that kind of stuff. And so to be able to handle it how he does all the time that's impressive, because everybody couldn't do that. That's a lot of some people, people might not take it so well and might get frustrated or whatever, but he takes it all in stride and just appreciates it. He's a nice guy.
A special dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, we're close on time, so I'm gonna wrap this up. But I really appreciate you coming on and taking
absolutely
taking time to do this late over in Turkey. Best of luck. Stay safe.
Thank you.
There, and hopefully sometime down the road we'll reconnect.
Yeah. Thank you for sure. Sounds good to me.
Yep. Have a good one.